G'day viewers, I'm really hoping that one of you guys can help me. I've tried doing mlccs for the first time and it hasn't worked, and the worst part is they're not my mlccs, they're someone else's. And I figured just because I hadn't done them before, I thought I knew what needed to be done. However, obviously I was wrong. So I've still got the solution. I need to get it sorted for this particular person and send off his metal. Now, if any of you guys have done mlccs before and can tell me where I've gone wrong, I've got the solution still. I'll give anything a try. Please help me see if I can learn from this. Alright, so I'll show you the video how it comes. Okay, so I've separated all the mlccs from all the silver capacitors. Now I'll get a weight on it and see what we've got in the way of mlccs. I need to find a container to put them in. 1 second. Okay, so I'll put a plate on there and pour this on. And we have 562 grams. So that means there's 440 grams of the silver capacitors. Now I can put these in a tin and burn them. No, sorry, these need to go in hydrochloric acid. These need to be burnt. I'll wait for those. I can burn them all together. I just need to soak these first. So now I will tip these into a beaker, and I need to use fresh hydrochloric acid because my old hydrochloric acid is being used already. I might as well put it on a hot plate if it's going to be in a beaker, speed up the process. The reason I need to put them in hydrochloric acid is to melt away the end caps. You see on the ends of them there's, I believe it to be nickel. I could be wrong, but I need to eat that off with the hydrochloric acid first. So I'll put them in a beaker, I'll put them on a hot plate with fresh hydrochloric acid, and we're back soon. As you can see, the hot hydrochloric acid is making short work of those mlccs. It shouldn't take very long at all, like that. I'll give it another half hour or so. Probably don't even need that long, but I'll give it half an hour anyway. And they'll be ready to rinse off. You can see the hydrochloric acid has changed colour, and I can't see any nickel left on those mlccs. I would say that they're pretty much done. So now I'm going to drain off the hydrochloric acid, give them a rinse, and while the fire's going I can start burning them. Editing this video and realise there's the footage where I put them in the fire is missing. I don't understand why. So I've gone from putting the mlccs in hydrochloric acid to then putting them in the dolly pot and crushing them and missing out the section where they were burnt. So I've added this in just to assure you guys they were definitely roasted in the fire to a glowing red, cherry red, and I had them like that for a good 15-20 minutes before I removed them and let them cool down. Okay, the mlccs have all cooled down now, and time to put them in the dolly pot. I'll probably do a third of this at a time. Filter it into sieve it into the bucket. Any coarse material I'll put back in again, and keep going until it's all broken up. So some of these aren't really breaking up as much. I mean, they're not whole. As long as they break in half, I guess that's something. They probably don't even need to be smashed into a powder. I guess the acid would still find its way through. I just think that it'd be better if they were broken up as best as possible. A lot of it is powder, a lot of it, but it's just a small pile. I haven't done all that yet, but it's just a small pile from that first batch that isn't breaking no matter how much I hit it. So it might be the type of metal that's in there, because I know palladium and so on, they're pretty hard metals. So at least they're broken. At least they're not in their normal shape, so the acid will be able to get through them, no worries at all. I'll just try and make an effort at the very least to break them up. Now I guess some of them just won't. That's alright. Okay, so they're all smashed up as best I can. There is a large portion of them that are still in chunky form, but like I said, they're not in their original square shape, they are broken. And before anyone says I didn't roast them long enough, they were glowing red for well over half an hour. So I don't know why they won't break anymore. Like I said, I think it's just the metal. It's probably too hard. It feels like I'm smashing metal. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. Now I'm not sure with these if you're supposed to gravity separate away the ash. I'd rather not, just in case. I'm going to put acid in all of that because I don't want to muck up someone else's thing. And we'll see what happens. So I've just put the mlccs on heat with some dilute nitric acid. Now it's time to cook it. Remove any silver and palladium. As you can see, I got fairly close. A little bit of the white did suck up into the hose, but that's okay, it was only a tiny bit. So there's not a whole lot left to get out of this. And there's all the green solution. There will be a little bit of sediment in there, but that'll come out in the filter. So now I've got to filter this, discard the white stuff, put the green solution in here. So I've got 2 cotton balls in that funnel, and I'm going to filter it straight into a nice clean beaker. And I need to make room to put hydrochloric acid so I can drop the silver. So I'll put half of this into here, and well, I might be able to get all of that into here just to put some hydrochloric acid in. But when it comes time to drop the palladium, I'm going to need to be putting zinc in there, and I need some room for the reaction, so I'll probably split this between the 2 beakers so that there's plenty of room for the reaction. As you can see, with all the solution filtered into 1 beaker, there's not leaving me a lot of room to put the HCl in there. So I've got a clean beaker. I'm going to pour half of this solution into there. I'll do that now, and then I'll add some HCl. Okay, so I've got roughly half and half. So I'll pour some HCl in there. See what happens. I don't see a lot of silver forming. It's really weird. I don't understand. It should be all cloudy, clumps of silver forming. So I'm just going to let that sit for a while. I'm not going to keep pouring more acid and wasting it. And see what happens. I might need some of your help. Any of you guys out there that know how to do PGMs. Because this was my first attempt and I've obviously done something wrong. I've had no response, and I'll show you what I've done. So I've got the 2 solutions there, and as you saw when I put the hydrochloric acid in, nothing. There was no silver at all. I've done a stannous test, and both times there's no dark. The spoons are a little bit stained. They got purple on them from other jobs, but there's no dark response showing palladium. I also did some on paper, on some filter paper, just in case there's a difference between that and spoons. I expected to see a darkish, brownish sort of response on the paper. I'll show you in the bin. You can see all the mlccs that I've discarded. I boiled them until there was nothing else, no more response, nothing dissolving. There's the paper with the. I did 2 different tests just in case, because one of them I checked my stannous solution, and my stannous solution is fine. So there's no response for palladium on these at all. Not on the spoon, not on the paper. I don't understand what went wrong. So if anybody out there has done PGMs before, I mean, even with the silver, I've done silver before and there's no reaction this time. I just don't get it. I don't mind posting fails. It shows you guys that things don't go right for everybody all the time. And if anybody out there knows what's going on, knows what I've done, I'm keeping this solution. I'm going to pour it into a bottle to free up my beakers. And if anyone can give me suggestions, I'll try them on the solution. But you can see the mlcc material. I've boiled it down to nothing. There was no more reaction, no fumes, no nothing. So I'm at a loss, guys. If you can help me out, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And hopefully I'll get this sorted. So I appreciate you all watching. Sorry it was a fail, but I'm happy to post them. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.